Do you love movies? So do I. What's up, y'all? It's KB, and I love movies, inviting you to listen to The Conversation, a film podcast where passion meets perspective and opinion. From the old school to the new, I invite a guest on to discuss the movies that thrill us, challenge us, break our hearts, or even blow our minds. There's always new episodes dropping wherever you get your podcasts. So join the conversation. We don't just watch movies. We love talking about them too. The Conversation with KB Loves Movies, a part of Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Hey, this is Jason Kleberg from the Force 5 podcast, a show that forces a guest to come up with a movie-themed top 5 list topic, and then we reveal our picks on air. Top 5 heist films, top 5 tearjerkers, top 5 movie dogs. Every show you'll be asking yourself, what would be on my list? Guests include directors, screenwriters, actors, podcasters, musicians, authors, and even a professional wrestler. Subscribe to the Force 5 podcast, and you won't just be a listener, you'll be a list nerd. The Force 5 podcast, available wherever you're listening now.
Welcome to Wake Up Heavy.
Hello and welcome back once again to Wake Up Heavy Recollections of Horror. This is the proposed bonus episode with Sam Panico that I mentioned on the Under the Silver Lake episode, and you also got the extra bonus of the note reading episode, and that got a lot more plays than I expected, so thanks so much for indulging me with that. It's hot. It's hot in Fresno. It finally got to that ugly level that we expect every year. So it was triple digits, like 106. It's supposed to be 109 yesterday. I don't think it got quite that hot. But as I have mentioned, I may be doing these in my undies, so feel free to picture that.
That doesn't sound right.
Okay, let's get into this. This is the before and after discussion that I had with Sam as we kind of got to know each other and just spitballed about some different movies. Stay tuned at the end of the show for maybe a few brief messages, news and notes type of things, but I'm going to try and keep this as brief as possible. Enjoy.
My wife and I do an occasional podcast, and it works because she usually hates everything that I like, so it's more of like a he said, she said thing.
Oh, that's good. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, so I try to be nice when I watch hers. We agree on a lot of John Carpenter stuff, but there's other movies we don't always agree on.
I don't know. I think my wife and I would have to do like a Murder, She Wrote podcast or something, because
we actually have done episodes of Murder, She Wrote podcast where she just smiled and showed, because we have a big Angela Lansbury 8x10 in the hallway.
See, this is how my parents used to chase us off after my sister and I had moved out of the house, and we would go back for like Sunday dinner or whatever. Yeah. Then at 8:00, they turned that on and we'd leave. Oh. And I mean, I grew up watching it, and we watch it now. My daughter watches it like religiously, and it's kind of more of a joke for me. And I just watch it to see all those old 80s actors and older actors that are in a lot of these movies that I talk about and stuff. So I always throw in the jingle. I love it
because like you're guaranteed to get at least like every once in a while a John Saxon episode, and then like Cameron Mitchell. But you know, I mean, like you get like the same people, like you said, that are in Grindhouse movies show up on Murder, She Wrote.
There's this one dude, I can't remember his name. He has dark hair too, but we were watching it nightly for a while. And I'm like, how many episodes was this guy on? And I don't think he's the same character every time. He's somebody totally different every time. And I'm like, God.
That's what's awesome, because it was on so long that like certain actors ended up being on it like 6, 7, 8 times, but it's totally different roles.
We watched the opening of Ghostbusters came on the other night, and we had watched Groundhog Day on IFC or something. And the blonde girl at the beginning that Bill Murray is working with that other guy, and he's kind of like conning both of them, saying that she's psychic or whatever.
Figure 8.
incredible. It's 5 for 5. You can't see these, can you?
No.
You're not cheating me, are you?
No, I swear they're just coming to me.
She was on 2 different episodes of Murder, She Wrote that had played like during the previous week. I'm like, oh, well, there's the Murder, She Wrote girl. So they're everywhere.
I love when that kind of stuff happens. My wife's really good at picking up those people and like being able to figure out, who's who and these things. I need IMDb a little more than she does, but she's got a really good eye for that.
Yeah, I'm like, I know what they're from, something I know, and then I have to clarify with IMDb too. But it's so much these days, watching so many movies and stuff, they just keep popping up, and it's weird sometimes how providential it is too, because I'll watch 2 really different horror movies and the same person is in them, and then I see them on a TV show, later that week, and it's just like when you buy a car, a new make or model for you or whatever, and then you see them everywhere. It's that weird.
Or Under the Silver Lake would suggest that that's a conspiracy. We're trying to reach out to you with these different C movie actors.
Exactly.
Like I watched Dream No Evil, which is on that new Arrow American Horror Project Volume 2 box set, which is awesome. It's a great set. And Marc Lawrence plays the father in it. And then the other day watched Pigs, the movie that he directed. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Oh, yeah. That's a great movie. Oh,
it's amazing. And what's crazy is it has like 19 titles. There's an Exorcist version of it that's a completely different opening. And then there's another version with more of an incestual angle that has a different opening. And then it's like, then after that, my rabbit hole went into the Evel Knievel movie that he made in 1977, which has Leslie Nielsen and Cameron Mitchell as drug dealers in it. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Oh my God, dude. It's amazing. The goal of the movie is that they want to kill Evel when he does the stunt and then stuff his corpse with cocaine and go across the border, because no border patrol guard will want to search Evel's body because he was such a patriot. Right. So they get Marjo Gortner, who was an ex-protege of Evel, to lure him down this trap. And then Red Buttons and Gene Kelly are in it as Evel's best friends. Like they really, and Irwin Allen, silent partner, directed it. It's awesome.
That's amazing.
It's I'm doing a week of redneck movies right now, so that's on my list. And between that and Nashville Girl, I've watched some really crappy movies, but great. I mean, that's my usual review of movies.
Your what?
My usual review. My dad will be like, he'll call me like, "Do you watch any movies?" I'm like, "Yeah," and I'll tell him. He goes, "Oh, it sounds like it was great." I'm like, "No, it's a piece of shit, but I loved it."
Yeah, I think you might have a little more leniency on the really bad stuff than I do. I enjoy, like, Pigs is something that I really got a kick out of. And there was another movie that I watched in the same week that was similar, Haunts.
Yeah.
And it has the same kind of, woman in peril or that hysterical woman kind of bent to it. That was really good too. But some of the really bad stuff I kind of start to lose my focus after a while.
I write for a zine, Drive-In Asylum, and the owner of it is obsessed with 70s movies where nothing happens. And like they're horror movies per se, but like they're just weird. Like The Baby is a good example. The Child is another one. Like,
I need to see The Child. That's one I've been trying to get a hold of.
It's on that new Arrow set, the American Horror Project one. It has that and Dark August, which was made by a advertising guy, so it's kind of interesting. They're all like weird 70s kind of folk horror, kind of rip-offs of Rosemary's Baby in a way. Like Kathy's Curse is another really good example, but I don't know if you've seen that or not.
Yes.
I love that movie. That's like literally one of my favorite movies, and it's so bad, but I love it because I have an obsession with non-Exorcist possession movies. And that's really good. And then there's Abby obviously is great.
Yeah, that's another one I haven't seen yet.
It's because the print doesn't exist, so it's almost impossible to find.
Yeah.
And it's one of those ones that'll never come out on DVD. And then there's a German one I'm losing my mind on trying to think of that is really, really good. And there's another one actually with Ivan Rassimov, the Gello actor, called Enter the Devil. It's also called Eerie Midnight Horror Show.
Yeah, I read your review on that, and I was like, "Ooh, I need to track this down."
Dude, it's crazy. Like, it's one of my favorite movies ever because, like, it's one of those Italian movies where there's actual nobody really told them, like, maybe you shouldn't do these things, or maybe they did. You know what I mean? And it just goes the exact opposite direction of it. Like, I've never seen a movie before where the thief next to Jesus gets down off the cross and starts walking around. It's really something.
Well, that's see, like Kathy's Curse. Now that's a bad movie that I really like. So
see, Magdalena, that's the one it's called. Magdalena Possessed by the Devil. It's a German.
Yeah, I think I read the whole Possession series that week.
Yeah,
I was like, shit, I don't know most of these, so. And that's when I get frustrated. See, and I really do have. I don't have it in my budget to buy stuff. That's why I kind of rely mostly on streaming.
Yeah.
And so if it's not and I'm like, oh God, please be on YouTube. But it's getting harder these days to find stuff on YouTube even. They're really tightening the screws.
Yeah, the lucky thing is, like, since I post everything on Amazon now, a couple of the labels will send stuff. Like, Arrow sends me stuff. You just need to reach out to them, honestly, and send them your show and just stay up on it. I can give you some of the contacts if you want.
Sure.
And then they'll, like, Arrow
never even thought of doing something like that.
Well, they actually reached out to me, and they're like, "Oh, can we send you some stuff?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And I didn't think I'd get anything, and all of a sudden, I got like 3 movies, and they were like, "Just keep sending us stuff back, and we'll send you stuff." So I get from them and Mill Creek and a couple other. Like, the only thing is you have to kind of wade through a lot of really bad streaming modern horror stuff, which is not always fun. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, honestly, those are the ones I stop usually. I have pretty high tolerance for crap, but it's those more so for the older movies. I'm like, I know something weird's going to happen at some point. I'm going to stick around and I hope it happens. But if a new movie starts out and you're 20 minutes in and nothing's really happened, it ain't going to happen in the last 40 or whatever, or last
I can't think of too many horror movies made past 86 that I like. It's pretty bad. Like, my wife and I talk about it a lot. It's like post, maybe, I don't know, maybe, trying to think.
I mean, I can totally see that, because once you get into 87 and 88, unless you're looking at Italian movies, it's pretty dismal. And
even the Italian industry kind of dies after, like, Michelle Soavi's stuff ends. Like, after The Church, like, I can't really, and Cemetery Man, I can't really think of too many great ones, because especially Argento really peters out after Opera, I'd say. Yeah. And it's sad, though, because, like, I watched Sleepless, and I really wanted to like it, and the first 20 minutes are great, and then it drags. But
I haven't seen that.
It's the first 20 minutes really feel like Deep Red a lot. There's, like, a chase through a train, and it's kind of like Psycho-ish, where you don't know who the main girl is going to be for a bit, and there's some really great tension, and then it just kind of falls apart.
Sleepless. I want to write that down.
Yeah, I think the last movie of his that I like is probably Opera. I really love what's the one with the Donald Pleasance and the
Two Evil Eyes?
No, the one with the bugs and Jennifer Connelly.
Phenomena.
Yeah, that's honestly, as stupid as the ideas in that movie are, I love that movie.
Yeah, that's a crazy one. I remember renting the Creepers version of that way back then, and I think I finally saw Phenomena a couple years ago, and was like, man, I forgot how wacko this one was. I mean, it's all over the place, and really, and I actually forgot how gross it was. The
last like 5 minutes of it are really intense, which I love.
Yeah,
it's funny because
that's a good one.
When I first started dating my wife, I went to visit her one night, and she was watching the remake of The Blob, and she was like, "Oh, it's one of my favorite movies." And I was so used to, like, dating girls who are like, "Oh, I like horror movies," and then they don't know anything about them. And then she just started, like, dropping facts about The Blob. So that's why I got married. My wife has a big Prince of Darkness tattoo on her arm too, like the anti-god. She actually has a tattoo of it. So I don't know how I lucked out. She has a Dr. Fives tattoo too, so not to put it on, but
yeah, my wife is reluctantly dragged to stuff like I made her watch Hereditary, and she is the kind of person that gets frustrated, when people do stupid things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you don't have the temperament for horror then, because they all do stupid things. I'm like, that's part of the movie,
Yeah.
Even in Hereditary, they do stupid things, and this is supposed to be elevated horror, and they're still doing stupid things.
I have a problem with elevated horror, but that's...
I know. That's why I was surprised you like this movie. So, not that it's horror, but...
It's, you know what? I think it's because... So I hated It Follows. Right. Because exactly what you said. At some point in the movie, like the first 10 minutes of it are great. Like whenever they find that body on the beach and like the setup for it and the actual idea of it's great. And then like by the end of the movie, everybody's behaving like horror movie characters. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, so he's set you up that this is in the real world, and then at some point it shifts. So I completely was prepared to hate the Under the Silver Lake, and it's funny that I like this so much. But I also think it's the same reason I don't like Donnie Darko and like Southland Tales. I think I'm predispositioned to like failures, or like Magnificent. It's like that Nathan Rubin book. Like, is this a failure or a secret success? I would argue that it's a secret success.
So how? And then It Follows. What do you mean by they start acting like horror movie characters?
By the end of it, like the scene with the swimming pool and them making the mistakes and stuff, it really, and I love slashers, so don't, but it really starts, there's some really frightening parts of it, of like the people wandering in the beginning. And it's actually really, speaking of like we were talking about earlier about seeing movie locations whenever you travel, all the locations in It Follows are right where my wife grew up. They're in Michigan, like outside of Detroit. So a lot of the places that the kids party and stuff, like she partied in those same places. Like she's like she's like, oh, that looks just like the abandoned psychiatric hospital near where I grew up. And we got on and checked. Yeah, she said, and it was. So like, but it's weird because like in Pittsburgh, we're used to obviously seeing movie locations nonstop from, we shop where Dawn of the Dead was, and I live right next to. We can see where I go across the bridge, and if you look down the Braddock Bridge every day, you can see where Martin lived. Like it's
you've got the whole Romero universe there for you. That's awesome.
Where I grew up is called Elwood City, and it's about 10 minutes from the farmhouse in Night of the Living Dead. And then, my dog is actually from Evans City. That's where we rescued him from, and that's where Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, and then Day of the Dead is shot in Wampum, PA, which is the silver mines, which are right next to Elwood City. So on the days they would shoot it, I was in 7th grade, and all the seniors, we had a very small school, all the seniors would skip school and then come back with Savini had done their arms and made them up. So I was like, I was too young, and my parents all taught at the school. So I'm like, can I please skip school to go meet Tom Savini? And that really went over really well. But yeah, so it's, what'd you say? Yeah, so there's a town called Bloomfield here, which is near where my office is, and you just see Savini walking all the time, and he's just like, he comes to the drive-in nights that we have here. My wife joked at the one time we were talking to him, she's like, I see Tom Savini more than I see my brother. Like, it's just and Doug Bradley lives here too, so it's like a weird, there's horror all the time in Pittsburgh, and Mindhunter's shot here now.
I'm waiting for that second season.
We just went to the Lamplighter Friday night, the bar where I
saw that picture.
That place is amazing. It's like, it feels very Under the Silver Lake. Like it's a very just weird, out of time. Oh yeah, and they've actually filmed the new season. They filmed in my wife's. She works at a pottery barn, so they filmed it in the loading dock. They turned it into one of the hotels. So she was pretty excited about that. Yeah, so there's always tons of stuff. RoboCop was shot here. Creepshow, obviously, was shot, the original. Which set? Striking Distance. Striking Distance is shot like 10 feet from our house. Like the big hill that he goes down, that's actually one of the hills to get to our house. So Striking Distance is the Gone with the Wind of Pittsburgh. I guess Dawn of the Dead is the Star Wars of Pittsburgh, but Striking Distance and Sudden Death are the the Gone with the Winds of Pittsburgh. These are the movies that we got. Van Damme movie where he fights Iceberg the Penguin. Written by the owner of the Penguins, because he wanted his wife to be an actress. And shot during the season lockout, so all the audience in the movie are cardboard cutouts. So if you go back and watch it, you can definitely see. And Van Damme, Powers Booth is amazing in it. It's an awesome movie.
Yeah, that's one of the rabbit holes that I don't tend to go down.
Talk about Van Damme movies.
Yeah,
never watch 25 Van Damme movies in a week, because that was a breaking point in our relationship. My wife said every one of these movies, all he wants to do is everybody wants him to fight. He doesn't want to fight, and then eventually,
he fights.
Why doesn't he just fight?
Well, that's every action movie, though, really.
Other than Stallone, I'm in a middle of a Stallone week now, and the Stallone movies are great because there's no story and they're just all montages. So Over the Top is like transcendental magic to me.
All right, well, maybe we should get into the
let's get into
movie on the table here.
Yeah, exactly. I could go off. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's good. Yeah, throw some of that in there, probably.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of good stuff in here. If not to speak for myself, but this was a lot of fun.
I'm filled in a lot of the blanks for me, so that's great. So this will actually be a really good companion for me to rewatch the movie with, to be honest with you. So that's awesome.
And I really appreciate
you cut a lot.
Getting a chance to talk with you, because I haven't had anybody else outside of one guy that writes for my site to really talk about it with. So this has been pretty great.
I know, and I don't know. I don't think any of I don't have a lot of movie buddies that actually live around me anymore, so I don't know if my movie buddy pal has watched it yet or not, and I was kind of thinking the same thing. I was just going to figured on, I'm going to do something on this. So.
The best review I saw the other day was like, I give this is the best movie I've seen all year, 4 out of 10. I was like, what is this review? It was.
He thought it was 4 out of 5, so give the guy a break.
I have to interview this director tomorrow. He made this movie, Amityville, Mount Mercy. It's like what's it called, baby? Yeah, Amityville, Mount Misery Road. I watched it with my wife. It's literally a husband and wife shot it themselves with an iPhone. You can buy it at Walmart. It's a legit, and it's like, imagine Blair Witch that was shot by a 50-year-old Italian Goomba kind of guy and his Russian mail order bride that he's fed all the lines to. And at one point, they're like, it's just like Blair Witch. They're wandering through the woods, and she goes, "I am so scared. Where are we? Is there a witch in this woods?" And so I have to interview the guy, and
awesome.
Yeah, and he's read the review, and I really try to be nice, because I'm like, hey, look, I haven't made a movie yet, so I understand this is it's a process. But I said, this is the worst movie I've ever watched, and I will watch every movie he makes.
Have you seen the recent one with the gal that was in Amityville 2? They just released it, I think, last year, and I can't for the life of me think of the name of it. But Diane Franklin's in it.
Oh, and I have not seen it, but I love Amityville 2 is probably in my top 5 movies ever, because it is the junkiest movie. It is like an Italian.
Oh, I love Amityville 2. I mean, that's one.
If you ever want to talk about Amityville 2, I'll do the show again if you'd have me, because it is the most anti-religious movie I've ever seen. Nobody is good in it. The priest takes the phone off the hook to go on a ski trip.
It's the Amityville Murders.
Yeah, So I learned there's been 19 Amityville movies in the last 2 years, because now, it's a public domain name.
Mm-hmm.
This movie has nothing to do with Amityville. The first 15 minutes of it are him driving to his house, shot on an iPhone. It's worse than Rock and Roll Nightmare, where Thor drives that van for 20 minutes. Seriously, it tested my will to live. But then this always happens when I watch bad movies. I get a Stockholm Syndrome, where I'm like, maybe there's a secret genius at work here.
Right.
There isn't. This is what happened during Linda Blair Week. It happened 8 movies into Linda Blair Week. I'm like, I got 12 left to go. I better start loving these.
Amityville 2 is kind of like a Halloween 3, where it's weird, that. And as a kid, when I saw it, on video, I didn't really, bad acting and stuff like that and bad line delivery didn't really register with me then.
Yeah.
I just remember, okay, this has got like bladder effects. It's got a weird incest thing. The daughter's cute, and it's got the dude from Rocky, and all this stuff. And
it's so much better than the original Amityville Horror, because the original Amityville Horror is kind of boring.
Yeah, it is.
This movie is anything but boring. Also, Halloween 3 is a huge movie in Pittsburgh because Tom Atkins is from here.
Oh,
actually, my wife's car broke down, and the Liberty tunnels are the big tunnels that go through town. Her car broke down in the middle of the tunnels. She called me crying from a Starbucks, and she said, "I have to go. Tom Atkins is here." And then,
wait, what?
We actually, for our honeymoon, we went to a convention in Chicago, and he was there, and he said, "Oh, where are you kids from?" And we said, "Oh, by Kennywood, which is the big amusement park." And he goes, "Why the fuck would you drive the whole way to Chicago? I live out in South Hills." I'm like, "We know."
Yeah.
But we've seen him in he used to do A Christmas Carol every year as Scrooge, which is amazing to see Tom Atkins as Scrooge. And he's just super, when John Carpenter played here, Hay and Greg Nicotero and Slash were all sitting together. So it was
that's cool.
Pretty heady to see Tom Atkins rocking out with all these young kids and them all going nuts for him being there. But anywhere else in the country, he wouldn't be that big of a deal, I'm sure.
Well, I don't know, maybe
a little bit.
That was a childhood favorite. I loved that movie. I couldn't have cared less if Michael Myers was in it or not.
I wish they had just done the thing to make a different Halloween every year. I would have loved it a lot more.
I mean, I didn't even really have any realization, about any of that when I wasn't like an infant when I saw it, but I had seen Halloween 1 and Halloween 2 and knew that Michael Myers was dead, so it made sense to me. And it was weird, and there were robots in it, and there were boobies, and, so it was everything a 14-year-old boy could dream of.
My last band, our last song we used to always play was literally all the lyrics were Connell Cochran's speech from the end when he's like, "The hills will run red with blood," all that thing. Yeah,
I think that's been sampled in a number of songs over the years.
It's the greatest speech. Plus, it's great that he's the same guy that's the lizard from The Last Starfighter, and he's in RoboCop. He's and his son is the bad guy in Death Wish 3, which is another top 10.
Oh. Huh.
Movie. The one with
not know that.
Yeah, the one with the makeup over his eye. I wrestle professionally, so I often wear the Death Wish makeup from the gang in the movie. No one ever gets it. No one's ever like, "Oh, you're wearing the Death Wish makeup."
Speaking of Death Wish, I actually liked Eli Roth's remake of that. So that kind of tells you where I'm at in my head.
I like that he used the there's a song from the movie Stunt Rock in it. Sacrifice, and it was I think Eli Roth and I are the only two people that have a Blu-ray of Stunt Rock. Someone told me I'd like that Knock Knock he did, and I haven't seen that yet either.
I have a soft spot for him for some reason. I don't know why. It's the Knock Knock. It's sort of fun, but I mean it's really bad dialogue and really ridiculous scenarios, but it's pretty fun. I just
avoided his cannibal movie because it just seemed like Cannibal Holocaust was I really like. I don't need to see someone else make it.
It is, and it's something about that. My buddy and I watched it, and boy, the first 10 or 15 minutes where it's mostly dialogue between these really inane characters. It kind of reached a level like it went, kind of spiritual or something. It was so bad that it kind of roped me in, and I was in for the ride. It's pretty bad. I mean, there's some really gross stuff in it. It has nothing to do with cannibalism.
Yeah,
but I don't know. There's something about he's the one that I kind of forgive for a lot of this stuff. I don't know why. I watched the History of Horror when it was on AMC, and I didn't realize it was going to go to Shudder. But I started listening to the podcast because it's the full interviews or whatever. And so he's talking to Stephen King, and he kept talking over him. And I'm like, dude, we don't need to know that you know this. Just let the king of horror talk. stop talking over like the dude that basically started all of this for us. So that kind of stuff gets annoying, but...
We had a guy that was writing for the zine that I write for, and he interviewed Joe Bob, and the first question he asked him is like, what do you think about Texas Chainsaw Massacre? I'm like, that's his favorite movie. Like, maybe you should have done some research on this. It was really weird.
Or if you know that, then, you know, come in with something a little deeper about the movie, you know.
Yeah.
Then what do you think of it or whatever, but...
I mean, I like the new Child's Play a lot, and I thought I was going to hate it, so who knows, right?
Yeah, and that's a franchise that I don't really have any deep connection to. I know I saw the first one in the theater. I might have seen the first two in the theater, and recently went back and watched a bunch of them when the Cult of Chucky came out on Netflix, because I was kind of surprised that I liked that one as much as I did. Cause
me too.
It's sort of the Chucky thing and the Freddy thing for me, when it becomes kind of slapstick humor, I lose interest. So the Cult of Chucky kind of roped me in, and I watched a bunch of them. I think they were all available on Netflix at that time when it came out, and it was like, oh, okay, yeah, these are pretty cool. And then, you know, when this whole news broke about this reboot and everybody was all up in arms, it didn't really register with me, because I'm like, I got no dog in this fight. You know, I didn't grow up absolutely loving these. They already ruined Halloween
and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
So those were my dogs in the fight.
And Texas Chainsaw, man, I didn't see that until I was probably working at a video store, which would have been in the early 90s, because it was just a little too real for me. Just not even having seen it, it had that kind of grindhouse look, like... This looks like cinema verite.
Yeah.
And that kind of...
It's every movie Rob Zombie's ever wanted to make.
Right. It kind of spooked me still as a younger person. And I was like, I like kind of the weird Phantasm and Tourist Trap, stuff like that. That's maybe not so realistic.
Tourist Trap's great. It's such an... I was so pissed because, like, I usually like Mystery Science Theater stuff, but they did a riff track of it, and I'm like, I can't think of a movie that needs that less.
I have avoided... I won't watch those for movies that I like that, because it's sort of like the whole cinema sins thing. It just sucks the joy out of it for me.
Yeah.
I don't need to know that there's a lot of silly stuff. I mean, I know there's a lot of silly stuff, and I don't need to know about the errors in movies, and I don't need to be, you know, I always look at the trivia and look up Wikipedia for a movie that I enjoy. I hardly ever look at the goofs on IMDb for a movie. I don't
really care about the goofs.
You know, I mean, this is art by committee, and there are millions of pieces to these things. And, you know, when I'm watching a movie with someone, we point out continuity errors, like, oh, look, that, you know, mug changed position or whatever. But that happens in movies. I mean, you know, big fucking deal. Who cares? So what's the other one besides Cinema Sins? Like everything wrong with Child's Play in 15 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And I watched a couple of them, and I'm like, this is so cynical to me. This sucks the joy out of the movie.
I hate when people say, well, that movie's a guilty pleasure for me. I'm like, well, why does it have to be a guilty pleasure?
There's no guilty pleasures. You know, we all use that term, but...
Yeah. I love Claudio Fragasso movies, so what do I know? Like, Night Killer is my favorite movie I've watched in the last 5 years. That's the one I want to see.
He did...
Dude, it's so good.
Which other... He's the guy that did Troll 2, but...
and Shocking Dark, which is also great.
There's another one that he did that I actually liked.
Oh, Ghost House? Not Ghost House. Yeah, Ghost House.
Yes.
Yeah, that movie.
I love that movie with the light bulbs that like expand and explode. I'm like, what
that
the
movie
fuck is
has
that?
Shocking amounts of gore that just show up. My favorite, like, I love that movie, and I forgot to say in this, like, I become like an evangelist for movies I love, like the one we just talked about, but the other two movies I'm an evangelist for are Night Killer and then Sergio Martino's Miami Tiger, which is the weirdest movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's on my Prime list actually. Guys over at the Projection Booth podcast did an episode on that, and so I've been
when I was at Scarecrow in Seattle, they had it on the shelf, and the owner was like, "I've never watched it. Should I watch it?" And then he's like, "Tell me in 5 minutes why I should watch it." And like literally 30 seconds in, he's like, "Okay, we're gonna watch it today." So I've never seen a movie where Donald Pleasance plays a faith-healing warthog.
Yeah. Well, you have, though, because you watched that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I have another copy of Night Killer, a bootleg of it. When I get it back, I'll send it to you.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Because I got
I kept seeing that come up, and I was like, ooh. Okay, he wears a Freddy Krueger mask? What's this? What's going on? Oh, this sounds awesome.
And it stole the title from the Italian title for Chainsaw Massacre, Don't Open the Door. It's listed as Don't Open the Door 3, which it has nothing to do with Chainsaw Massacre, and it really has nothing to do with Freddy either.
Well, and Ghost House and Witchery don't have anything to do with whatever series they were shoehorning into either. So,
Wakasa, which is Evil Dead that turns into House. Yeah. It's like the Joe Bob speech on Demons. When I met him, I said that's the greatest thing that's ever happened because like that era of movies and those filmmakers are like my heroes. So it's like hearing somebody else like explain it, and I don't feel like a maniac for knowing all that. Made me feel really good. But yeah, I think Shocking Dark's great because it's an Aliens Terminator ripoff at the same time. Cool. And Greta from Demons is in it, and there's a lot of like anti-Italian dialogue from her, which makes me laugh my ass off. It's kind of like literally everybody's wearing rollerblade armor and fighting aliens in the sewers of Italy.
Cool.
It's choice.
But yeah, thanks so much for coming on, Sam. This was enlightening, to say the least.
Yeah, man, thanks a lot. I'll be in touch with you.
And I will link the site for reviews. And then, I have to admit, when I first encountered you on Twitter and saw that you did reviews, I thought it was bands about movies. That's pretty cool. Oh, they're in a band.
I was in a band at the time I started it, yeah. I was in a band that did all horror movie songs. Like our first album was like had a song about the Amicus Tales from the Crypt.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's again, anything Amicus is the greatest shit.
Those are my favorite anthologies. So
I hate modern with you anthologies. On that. They're just the worst.
Most of them are pretty bad. I do like Southbound. I've kind of plugged that a few times on the show. Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised by that. But I do agree that most of them are just, they take a bunch of shorts that play the festivals and try and throw them together with a wraparound story that has no connection. So
Asylum's also really great if you haven't seen Asylum.
Thanks again to Sam for joining me, and I really had a lot of fun listening to these stories about the shooting locations, Tom Atkins, all this. I'm big fans of a lot of those movies. One slight correction. The movie by Claudio Fragasso that I was actually thinking of was Beyond Darkness, which is absolutely wacko and should be viewed immediately by anyone who has an interest in Italian horror, if you haven't already seen it. As I figured that out, I realized that as far as I could tell, didn't write or direct Ghost House, which is still a fun one that I enjoy, but I don't think Fragasso had any involvement in that. That was just a little unintentional error, I think. Fragasso also wrote another really crazy Italian horror movie called The Other Hell that is, again, really... He didn't direct that one, but he wrote the screenplay, and it is bonkers. These are some fun movies. And then, of course, he went on to direct Troll 2, write and direct Troll 2, which is considered one of the worst movies ever made, and it definitely fits the bill in my book. Coming up shortly will be the Stephen King episodes. I'll start getting into that. I'm not really sure what is happening with the Haunting of Julia episode. I have not heard back from that gentleman since I last mentioned it, so I'll be trying to get in touch with him. And then in a couple of weeks here will be the 1-year anniversary episode. Didn't receive any questions, comments, or anything of the like, so I'll be going with the self-written questions read by my daughter and put out that little deal sometime in mid-August. I'm not going to stress myself out about trying to hit the exact date that the first episodes were released, but mid-August is around the time I got the first 2 out. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Enjoy the rest of your week, and don't forget to wake up heavy.